All right, today we actually have a lot of packages that came in today. We have new Brembo rotors. We have a remanufactured caliper. We have another one coming in tomorrow. So this isn't going to be done in one day. We have the brake fluid. We have all the pads, all the rotors. And we're going to give this thing a full refresh because it desperately needs it. Rotors are all rusted. Front calipers are seized. We have one of the calipers today. We're going to get the other one tomorrow. But we're going to go ahead and start on the rear. Since I'm going to have to leave the front up overnight, I'm going to do the rear, change the pads and everything, rotors, let it down, do the front, and yeah. I'm basically just going to do the rear so that I can have the e-brake and have it sit here overnight while the front's in the air. I'm going to have brakes around it too, just be careful. And then in the morning, I'm going to install the other remanufactured caliper and then bleed the entire system and do a brake flush so we can get some new fluid in here, because I know the fluid that's in it right now has been in it for a while. So yeah, I'm gonna jack up the back of the car. All right, so we have the car in the air, gave it a really good shake. It's not going anywhere. It's not budging, not even making any noises, which is rare for these cars. See, I'm gonna go ahead and zap these wheels off and get to taking off the caliper. We're gonna have to compress these calipers with 2 screwdrivers because I don't have the ratcheting tool, it's coming in tomorrow, to actually compress both on both sides at the same time. I just have the simple screw one that does one side, but since these rotors are getting replaced today, they're kind of trash. So we're gonna go ahead and just use a screwdriver, compress both sides with the brake pads, the old brake pads, make enough space for the new ones to fit on the new rotors. And we're gonna get started on this. While I do have the wheels off, since they are white wheels, they get dirty really fast. So this is a great time just to go ahead and give them a quick clean. You can see where I rebalanced this wheel. And this is the rotor I was talking about. Crazy amounts of rust built up. It was audible to the ear. These we're probably gonna seize as well pretty soon. So yeah, this is definitely a needed job. I was just waiting till the time was right. And since this car is now parked and has been parked for a couple weeks, the time's right. So here we go. So I would just like to remind everybody that rotors do come with a certain type of grease to prevent rust and corrosion on them. So you have to make sure you get that off before you apply the rotor on your car. So make sure you always hit it with the can of brake clean, both sides. And then wipe it down with a paper towel, shop towel, rag, something just to get that off so that it's not rubbing against your brake pads. Look at all that. So now we do the other side. And all right, there we go. This rotor is now ready. Okay, bad news. The rear was all wrong. Wrong rotors, wrong pads. But the front ones were the ones that were seized, and the front stuff is correct. I'm hoping. We're at least gonna check that real quick. So we're still gonna try and make something out of this day, even though I'm going to send all that stuff back, wait for it to get sent back, order the correct parts. It's definitely a downer on the day, and it's just getting hotter. But we're going to get started on the front. All right, day 2 of this video. Haven't recorded much. Replaced that rotor. Took off the caliper on this side. Guess I'll show you all. The rotor's still on. Impact battery died, so I couldn't get the spacer off, even with a breaker bar and a pry bar. So I'm back day 2. Got my battery and everything from work, so I can actually get this knocked out. Now I'm going to put on this new caliper. It's looking nice though. I don't like how they painted this, but I don't have time. So we're gonna go ahead and knock this out. Put on the caliper, put on the pads, bolt it up, get it ready. Same with the other side, and then we're gonna bleed the system. Okay, so I know this video is kind of everywhere. In the last part, we changed out the rotors and calipers, which I did not get on camera because I'm horrible with this. Front rotors, calipers, and pads are all changed out. They're all good. They're working great. Bled them correctly. The rears, as you saw, we ordered the wrong parts. They'll be here tomorrow, and then I'll finish that. In the meantime, I have my adjustments for my coilovers. We're actually going to raise all the sides by about 3 inches or so. You probably can't tell, but there is not a lot of clearance, and it's been rubbing the fender, the wiring harness, and all of that stuff. So I'm about to adjust the ride height, raise it up a little bit. If in the future I figure out some a better setup for the wheels, better setup for the tires, and maybe relocate the wiring harness in the front, might be able to lower it back down. But for the meantime, I'm gonna raise it up a little bit, especially on the back. Every single time I hit a bump, it's scrubbing the chassis, and I don't want that tire wear. I don't want a tire going out on me or anything like that. So alrighty, so I'm sitting out here. We have our actual adjustment tool, Liberty kit. This is the one that we use for this, and we have our digital caliper. So if you've never adjusted coilovers, basically there are 3 lock rings. This one is to basically keep it from adjusting while you're riding, and then you have these, which are for actually adjusting. You can keep them locked together, and if you do not keep them locked together, you can adjust your spring stiffness, which is something that I do not want to do. So since we're raising the ride, which there wasn't much, yeah, look, there's some show on where the wheel was rubbing, especially hitting bumps. So we're gonna raise it a few inches, and basically by doing that, we're going to move this lock ring. I'm not gonna do it just yet because I do need to measure and make sure I'm doing the same on both sides, so that way it doesn't start pulling to one side or the other. So basically we're gonna move this lock ring, unlock it, and then we're going to adjust the bottom ring, which will pull the entire strut out, so that way it'll raise the ride height. And if we look at the other side, which by the way, here are the new calipers, new rotors, ugly spacers. Don't worry about it. Look at the other side. It's about the same. This one is a little bit higher, just because the way that the car is sitting. Not 100% sure how that's happened. Here, it has started to chew. And I do not feel like taking off the fender, cutting part of the body panel, and rerouting it today. So in the meantime, just going to raise the car a couple inches. It's still gonna look great. Yeah, and then hopefully everything goes to plan. Parts will be here for the rear tomorrow, which is desperately needing it. You can hear that rust every single time that you ride it, and takes about 5 minutes to get rid of the sound, but it'll be here tomorrow, and then we'll be back on the road. All right, it is officially lifted. If you look at it, we have a good gap in the front, we have a good gap in the back. I know it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's gonna do for all right, final part. Finally got our parts, rotors and pads for the rear. Go ahead and zap these wheels off. Have it all set up. Kind of in a hurry though. Probably not gonna record much of it, but I'm going to go ahead and start zapping all this off. All right, we got the wheels zapped off. You can really see how bad condition these rotors were in, and the pads are just gonna have to go with it, just so that we don't put old pads that have been on these rusty rotors on the new rotors. So here's our new boxes. I'm gonna go ahead and unpack them. We're gonna take off the caliper, and we're going to start replacing the rotors, and then we're gonna go with the pads. A little bit later than I expected to finish this tonight, but it's done. There's the brand new rotors, new pads. I was under the misconception that these were just press-in pistons where you can just compress them with I don't even know, it's too late. But they're not, so I had to go get me some vice grips because my vice grips are at work. And I wanted this done tonight. So I went and got some vice grips, twisted the pistons in like you're supposed to. Got everything knocked out. It's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm gonna call it for this video. It's been several days ordering new parts, getting the wrong parts, all of that. But it's done. Check it out next time. I got the brakes done. Probably going to refit the body kit next with some new hardware. So stay tuned to the channel if you want to see this thing slowly get the glow up it deserves. Yeah, see ya.